quick trigger warning. I'm going to be talking about things like blood, medical procedures, and female reproductive organs. So if those topics make you feel uncomfortable, feel free to keep scrolling. My name is Jessica, and I'm currently going through endometrial cancer, and this is part 3 of my cancer journey. So after we found out that I had cancer, we were referred to an oncologist who ordered some additional imaging. She said that the initial biopsy done in April was not enough information to kind of have a clear picture of what was happening with the cancer. So when the scans came back, the MRI showed that the cancer was actually found in my myometrium, which is essentially the muscle tissue or the wall of the uterus. And typically, when the cancer is in that location, the standard practice is to do a hysterectomy. She did give us an option. More and more people have been kind of pushing the envelope and trying to treat the cancer anyways, even though there's not a lot of research right now to support that treatment is effective when it's in the muscle tissue. But she gave us the option to try. But we didn't have a lot of time to decide. Cancer is very quick and unpredictable, and we really needed to act fast. It was about 28% of the way through my uterine wall, and if it made it all the way through, the cancer would have the opportunity to spread. So I was like really torn about this. What was the right decision? And I was talking with an online counselor through our digital church that we attend, and she told me, when you pray, you really need to you need to ask God to make it abundantly clear what he wants you to do. Because a lot of people that I had talked to, it could go either way, where if you have the hysterectomy and God will provide a family in another way, or I felt like if I did the hysterectomy, that was cheating and just like taking the shortcut out of maybe God wanted me to get something out of this cancer journey, or maybe I'm limiting what he can do as far as, his ability to heal or his ability to make things happen. So I was just really torn about it. And so after I had that conversation with her and we ended the call, and I just sat on the couch for a little bit longer and I just prayed. I said, God, just make it abundantly clear. I am so scared and I don't know what to do. Make it so clear to me what I need to do. My husband was in the bedroom at the time. He was totally unaware of the conversation I just had. And he woke up, he was in the bedroom, woke up and came out and he said, I think we should do the fertility sparing route. And I just lost it, started crying. He had no idea I had that conversation. But even throughout the week, I was just, God, are you sure? Are you sure? That seemed like such a clear sign. But are you sure? God, during the week, as I was praying, and there was one day I was praying about it, it had rained, and I saw a rainbow, which is kind of a reminder of God, keeping his promises. But then the final thing that got me was I got an email from, I call it Christian spam, but it's just this newsletter that I get, and the title of it, I don't remember the exact title, but basically it said, do you trust God to heal you, essentially? And I opened the email, and there was a video talking about Mark 9, where a man brings his son to Jesus who is demon-possessed, and he says to Jesus, if you can heal him, do what you can. And Jesus, his response was, if you can, of course I can, anyone who believes, I'll do it for you. And I love the Father's response. He says, I believe, help my unbelief. Sometimes we could just get so wrapped up in our fears and our worries. But we just have to trust and obey that God has a plan. So it was a really terrifying decision. We did not feel financially ready to handle cancer, financially ready to oh my gosh, if this works, we have to have a baby now, because we do ultimately have to have the hysterectomy in the end to prevent the cancer from coming back. But just there were so many unknowns, and what if it gets worse, and what if I end up having to do chemo after all, or just so many what ifs. But God was really calling me in that moment to trust him, to trust him that he is all powerful and that he can heal. So that's what we decided to do. We It was a very quick decision. It just kind of felt crazy, but we really felt like God was calling us to trust and to treat the cancer. So, yeah, that's what we did. um, yeah, thank you so much for listening to this little snippet of my story. You can read more about my cancer journey on my blog, thepeachribbonclub.com. Um, we also have a GoFundMe that my sister-in-law put together for us. You can check out the link in the description. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you around.